Okay, so I couldn't resist it once I'd thought of it. In yesterday's video, we saw how ChatGPT was blowing its own trumpet and telling us it could generate high-quality translations for the languages it had been taught, which included Italian. Challenge accepted. How would ChatGPT do against Duolingo on the final revision exercise on the Italian path? Obviously, it would have been difficult to do the match these or click on this exercises, so I've cut those out. And I stopped when we got to repeating any errors. Oops, was that a spoiler? Let's get started. There are 11 sentences in total. Go on, make a guess beforehand and see if you're right about how well ChatGPT does against Duolingo.
Mi hai fatto perdere la testa.
Okay, so Duolingo marks this wrong because it's being literal, but really ChatGPT is right on this one. It means both in English, so I'm giving it a pass. Another correct answer, although the odds were greater because there are a couple of correct answers in the Duolingo database. Another correct answer, although I only needed the one word. I'm taking the whole sentence. So I knew Duolingo was going to mark this wrong, because I've seen the sentence many times and I've never seen this option before. So I looked it up on Reverso Context, and although most examples used senza cuore, there was one priva di cuore. It's another tick for ChatGPT. Can I give Duolingo minus points for not accepting this option? Once again, I knew this was going to get marked wrong, because Duolingo always uses albergo, and for the lack of use of nel for inn. But Italians do use a lot of English words like hotel, so that could be okay. And in some circumstances, inn might be okay instead of nel. So I'm going to give ChatGPT a tentative half a point here. So with this one, if ChatGPT had been needed for the whole sentence, it would have got this wrong, because Italian, as with some other languages, doesn't use a simple is for this. So I think I have to mark it wrong to be fair. Very easy, this one. Another point for ChatGPT. This one was correct, but ChatGPT was lucky here. Often Duolingo insists on a literal translation rather than a good one. Another single word required, but I'm counting the whole sentence again, and ChatGPT falls down on this one, as would many of us, because Italian requires us to say not have known it.
Volevo sapere se ti era piaciuto.
Another point, with once again a better translation from ChatGPT than from Duolingo. And to finish, a fairly simple sentence, so another point. That's 11 sentences with a total of 8.5 points. The thing is, the sentences that were wrong would probably have been understood if an English person was trying to speak to an Italian, so not all bad. But I think high-quality translation might have been a little overstated. Good would probably have been more accurate.